pancake and power slam. Turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam show. Turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up. It's the pancake and power slam show. Turn it up.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, PNP Nation? What is going on, PNP Nation? Let's get going, man. You know what time it is. It is share time. It is share time. The song of the week this week is Trees by Chromo the Dreamer, also known as Chromonichi. This is actually one of my favorite songs out right now. So absolutely. Yeah, man. Share time. Yeah. Yeah. What's up? PNP Nation. It's share time. Chromonichi. Or the Chromo the Dreamer. CHROMO. The Dreamer. Chromo the Dreamer. Yeah. Share time, y'all. Let's go. Yeah. Share time. Let's go. Share the link. Share the link. Share the link. Let's go. Yeah. Share the link. Yeah. Share the link. Yeah. Share the link. Share the link. Yeah. Share the link. Yeah. Yeah, y'all. A whole vibe. Let's go. Let's go. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? This is episode 646 of the Pancakes and Power Slam show. We are here live and living color, getting funky like a monkey if you will. Getting funky like a monkey if you will, baby. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the aftermath of the interview I just had with Essence Jenai. And how was she backstage? How was she talking to her and all that jazz? I'll talk more about that on the Patreon as far as just my backstage interaction with her. And so I will do that. She just actually got back with me. She just emailed me back. She said she enjoyed the conversation as well. Thanks again for having me. Have a great night. Wonderful. All right. um, all right, all right. Let's see here. All right, so I'll talk about more about that on the Patreon as far as interactions with Essence. But yeah, as far as as far as just the interview is concerned, yeah, I mean, I think that she was very professional in the way that she addressed the situations. Of course, I don't the views and expressions of Essence Jenai is not reflected by me or Sports Kita or anything. I got to protect myself from a legal lash. Just in case someone wants to, make a decision to do do something legally. Yeah, well, my views don't. My her views aren't reflected by me. So yeah, I just wanted to give her a platform to be able to express herself in that way, and I think that I'm very happy that I did. And I think it was a really cool conversation. I enjoyed the conversation with Essence, and it's interesting. I think one of my biggest takeaways from that conversation is that she had no clue who Hulk Hogan was. Never knew anything about Hulk Hogan, and I guess and I loved that. I think that was great to hear because it just goes to show to me, and when I got from that was and a lot of times pro wrestlers in this business can get super big headed, like just because a lot of fans know who they are, means that they are known by people. What's interesting, man? Along those lines, there was a particular wrestler, and I've talked about this wrestler on the Patreon, um, that I didn't have the best interaction with during SummerSlam weekend. I had a really good interaction with like 99% of the pro wrestlers. And that 1%, it was actually one person that was I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan. I talked about this on the Patreon. If you want to know who it is, go hit up the Patreon. Less than $1 a month, patreon.com/pancakes and power slams. So, it's one of those things that this particular wrestler, interestingly enough, didn't have the best situation with him, didn't have the best interaction with him. However, uh met back up, encountered or not really interacted, but was by this person again going to SummerSlam. There was a media entrance that we had to go to, and this person was walking, and um I we were talking, Bill Apter and we were talking to an officer that told us to go to drive a certain way, and then we went, and then I was driving that way, and it was just crazy. It was just so just congested around the area. So we ended up finding a garage that was probably about a mile and a half away, probably about a mile and a half away from the actual stadium. And so we met back up with the officers, and I was jokingly told the officer, "Yeah, man, you told us to go this way," and um, and yeah, we went around and blah, blah. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry." He was nice. He was real cool. And so this wrestler, as Bill and I were talking to this officer, he thought that somehow he can just impede, and he would get he would get favorites played toward him, and the officer just totally no-sold him. I mean, he he just totally dismissed. He was like, "Hold on," he's like, "Hold on a second, I'm talking to them." And it was a bit of gratitude. It was a bit of solace to me that's already had a not good experience with this person, no fault of my own, zero fault of my own. And then this person tries to step in front of the line while we were talking, and I was just, and I no sold him too. I just kept talking to the officer and was still talking to him as he asked the question. And he was like, the officer was just like, yeah, hold on a second. And and you could tell the person's face was just kind of um, really upset, but he just kind of waited and didn't say anything. And then he went and had a little attitude and then asked another uh, person. And then he started walking, and then fans were cheering him. And he was telling them to be quiet. So, yeah, again, if you're on the Patreon, you know who I'm talking about. And if you want to know, join the Patreon, and I'll let you know. So yeah, it was it was interesting. I think that she was very professional. I think that her, at the end of the day, man, it was her view of the story. When it came to the Hulk Hogan stuff, it was her view of the story. It was her experience, and that's basically what it boiled down to. It was her experience. Does it make it? It's difficult for Real American Beer or Hulk Hogan to confirm or deny the experience because it wasn't their experience. So it's difficult to say, yeah, that didn't happen. Well, it happened with her. So, I mean, so at the end of the day, I mean, that's her experience, and that's what she feels. So if she feels that there was a reason why uh she was no longer needed, for the Real American Beer contract, and then all of a sudden there's other people that does not look like her, and I think that she did a really good job, kind of answering that question. I know she has legal representation too, and I imagine that her attorney gave her some pointers of how to answer certain questions, and so I think she did a really good job there. Uh, Basically, she said that she feels as if there were people who were chosen um, uh, uh, outside of her. She was chosen first, and then they told her that the agency, they're no longer working with the agency, and then all of a sudden we see a new representation of people who don't look like her. So, I mean, I'm not mad at that answer, man. Because look, if you connect the dots in the writing, and you can connect the dots yourself, man. I mean, really. And again, uh, I, I can't hear Essence's explanation and necessarily deny it. I can't say, "Oh, that's no, don't say that." You can't say that. No, that's not true. Well, maybe it's true to her. Maybe that's something she saw. I mean, maybe that's an experience that she had. I mean, again, who are we? Who are we to say that what she say is completely made up about the situation? Like, who are we to say that? She's the one who's missing out on money because of it. She's the one who is she even said that she was having trouble getting other deals because of it. I mean, she was excited about the work, the brand ambassador work. That's money that's no longer in her pocket about the situation. She's making a living being a brand ambassador. And so, I mean, she's built up a reputation of, I mean, like I said, she's worked with Dunkin' Donuts, she's worked with Delta, she worked with Casa Azul, so she worked with Mercedes Benz. So she's put in work. I mean, she's just not some, Johnny come lately. She's been doing this for 8 years. And so clearly with 8 years of experience doing brand ambassador modeling work, she's had some situations where she felt uncomfortable. And from the conversation that we had live, she felt uncomfortable about the situation. And another thing I didn't know was the fact that she said that it felt the interactions were odd with Hulk Hogan, and she said that the energy was different when they were taking pictures, and it basically she talked about how the energy was different when they took pictures, just to find out very soon after that she doesn't, they don't want to work with her and her agents anymore. So very interesting. I mean, if you, again, man, it's hard for me to say. I'll say this, and I'm not gonna be the guy that says, I completely agree with Essence or I completely agree with Hulk Hogan. Only thing I'm gonna say is, um, reading the statement from Real American Beer, hearing Essence's side of the situation for more than just TikTok posts, putting more context into it, because there's only so much that TikTok posts can give you, contextually, but actually having a nearly 30-minute conversation with her about this situation, it brought a lot more context into the fact that she just didn't feel as if she was fairly treated in the deal. I mean, that's again, that's how she felt. That's how she feel about this. That's how she feels about the situation. She doesn't feel that she was properly treated. She doesn't feel that she had a fair shake. She doesn't feel that she was looked at correctly, and she feels as if there was a intentional, see, from what I'm picking up, there was an intentional decision to no longer have her a part of the brand ambassador team because of certain dynamics that are out of her control. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. All right. So, but hey, man, look, I wish the best for her. I mean, she looked from what I asked her. Just her background, and she said that she went from becoming a waitress to a model and a brand ambassador, because she had interest in the hospitality business, and then so yeah, I mean, I wish the best for her. She says she wants to start her own agency, and so with the name of Essence Jenai, I think that that makes sense. If she wants to start her own business agency, the Essence Jenai Agency. I think that sounds pretty. I think that sounds like a really cool agency name. Yeah. So best wishes to her. And she said that she landed another deal recently, and so that's great. That's great to hear, and that it's good that, because sometimes with these brand ambassadors and just people who do brand work and marketing and PR, any type of contracted work, man, it's hard to um it's hard to bounce back from stuff like that. I imagine the deal was decent, what I mean? And if someone's going from like big deal to big deal, and if you're making a living doing this stuff, man, you can't do multiple things at once. And so, like, as a brand ambassador, you're landing a deal, and that's going to compensate you for your time, and so you're devoting and dedicating your time to that particular company. So you can't just say, okay, well, I'm gonna dedicate my time to this company, and then I'm gonna jump over here and work with this company at the same time. You can't do two things at the same time when it comes to this work. So if you lose a deal, you have to hurry up and scurry up, especially since you were expecting to do certain dates and things like that. You could have said no to particular dates because you already had something locked in. And if they drop you, now you have to regain and get those dates back. So, I mean, there's a lot of, situations. There's a lot of important and crucial elements when it comes to this type of work. I did PR work. I used to be a PR agent, and it's the same. It's very similar as far as just that type of PR, marketing, branding business. If I'm being a PR agent for a particular company, and I'm contracted to be a part of to work for a certain company for a certain amount of time, and then all of a sudden they just drop me for reasons that I don't know about. Okay, now I got to figure out who else I can work for. Because that's who I was, contracted to work for. I was expecting to work these dates. I'm going to bust my butt and I'm going to represent my name and my brand correctly by being professional, by being prompt, by doing what I need to do to meet and exceed the expectations of my client. And so if I'm doing those things and still get let go because of reasons I don't know about, it makes it very difficult for me to just hurry up and scurry up and say, okay, yeah, I did say no to you, but I changed my mind. I mean, of course, that wouldn't be professional to do that. So yeah, man. I mean, that I do understand. That I will advocate for, as far as just the line of work that she's doing, and just the difficult and the grind that comes with that, and the fact that you just can't, you just can't up and just like that, especially with the fact that she's still relatively young, brand ambassador as far as just her experience is concerned. And I looked at her following on socials, and it's still, it's she's got a solid TikTok following. She hasn't blown up or anything, but she's still, I think she's got like 20,000 followers, something like that, which is very 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 solid following. I mean, there's definitely a support group there, and I imagine that's I imagine, interestingly enough, that a big chunk of her followers are probably now wrestling fans because of the whole situation is concerned. And interestingly enough, I told her, hey, you owe us a favor now, since we had your back in many ways as a community. That's what she said. As a wrestling community, we had your back. And I said, as a favor, you need to become a wrestling fan. She said, oh, I don't know about that. And then guess what? You know what I really wanted to say? I don't blame you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, you know what time it is. It is time for the question cave. I love doing that. All right, let's get into this, man. What we got? What we got going on, PNP Nation? Let's go. How cool is it? The People's Wrestling Channel is asking that fans sing Orton's theme every week now. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yep. AEW got outdrawn by a rerun of Big Bang Theory. No surprise. No, definitely no surprise coming with that. AEW can't even draw in Daly's place, but want to do a show in stadium in Australia. God mode level of a very bad business model. Yeah. What is it that you have so much against AEW? What is it about AEW that you're so like you've got this like, I'm gonna kill it, like that Vince McMahon, the how he felt about WCW. I mean, how you felt about WWE doing that NWO angle. I'm gonna kill it. I'm going to inject a lethal dose of poison. That was Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon's promo with that that NWO. Man, they were trying so hard to make that NWO thing work, man. I remember they that was their way of bringing in the NWO, because from what I understand, him and Flair were going at it as far as who owns the company, and then that's when that's when Vince McMahon cut that promo. I'm going to inject And then at No Way Out, wasn't it? It was No Way Out that the NWO debuted. And yeah, man, that was quite interesting of how they brought the NWO in with that Vince McMahon inject promo. And then at the very end of the promo, me in the NWO. And then he turns around. It says NWO. I gotta watch that again, man. I gotta watch that, bro. Me in the NWO. Man, that was 2002, wasn't it? Wow, that was 22 years ago, y'all. 22 years ago. Wow. I love how the basement dwelling AW marks want to see all in has sold 50,000 tickets, failing to realize that 22,000 less than a year. Yeah, they've been dipping on all of their all in sales, man. It's unfortunate. Man. Yeah, I guess this is Ricky's rant about AEW, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? He says, and this is in a country who've rarely. There's more ranting about AEW. This is in a country who rarely gets big time events and loves wrestling. There's countless indie companies over there, but as much as we love wrestling, AEW isn't a draw. First of all, who are we? As far as love wrestling, who are we in that? And AEW is not a draw, but at the same time, looks like Warner Brothers may be having a deal. They may have a deal. They may have a deal with the AEW. They may have a deal. The deal is going to be huge. It's going to be large. It's going to be big. It's going to be bigly. It's going to be huge. Okay. So we'll see. I know why there's more. There's more ranting about AEW, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read these because I respect my my patrons, and this is a rant about AEW. I know why AEW are doing Texas next year. It's because if they came to London for a third year, they would even be less there. So they're hoping to be a draw in 2 years. Well, the field in Texas, I think it only caps at 40K. So it looks better aesthetically. You having all of those tarped seats, and Wembley seats about 80. Wembley seats about 80K, I believe. Let's see. Wembley seats. What do they cap? They cap at 90. They cap at 90. So 90,000 plus, really, because if you think about it, with the floor seats, you can put in 5 to 10K, on the floor. So you're looking you can do about 95 to 100K at Wembley. So yeah, but they've got about half of that. So they're going to be doing lots of tarping. And so aesthetically, it doesn't look the best. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be taking pictures of like, oh, look at this. This is tarped off, and this is tarped off. Look at all of these. Look at all this tarped off. Look at all this tarped off spot. Look at all these tarps. Look at all these tarps off spaces, y'all. This AEW is going down to the ground. So next year in Texas, it caps at 40. So if you seat it on the floor as well, 45 to 50. So if they only sell like 38, 35, 40, it still looks, full, relatively full. But if you only sell 50K to a stadium that can hold about 95 to 100, from a wrestling perspective, SummerSlam, what does SummerSlam have? 92. SummerSlam, how many people attended SummerSlam 1992? 78,927 people. So yeah, I mean, you had nearly 79,000 people in a 90,000 venue. That was pretty good. So all in 22. How many did they have? They had a pretty good. Oops, I meant to put all out. All in 23. Let's see, pulled in 23. They pulled in 72,265. So they were less than SummerSlam 92 by about 7,000 people. So, but I mean, you know, an AEW apologist can say, well, AEW is only, in 2023, they're only a company that's 4 years old. So yeah, it's almost a little over 72,000 people in a company that's 4 years old, man. I mean, that's pretty solid. I mean, you can't really um, crap on that. However, a person who would go against that would say, well, they're wrestling fans. And they're not AEW exclusive wrestling fans. They're pro wrestling fans, period. So that as a result would cause someone to say, we're here in London because a reputable company came in, and if another company came in that was a few years old and wanted to have a show in Wembley and had top level talent, and a lot of them are former WWE wrestlers, is it just AEW that would get over 70,000 with the same roster? No, I don't think so. I don't think just AEW would be the only company that would get 70 plus 4 years in their company with that type of roster. So, both sides would have a reasonable argument. Oh, there's more. I would be extremely shocked if AEW still around 2 years. Very quickly, stinking ship. Okay, there you go. Young Bucks are harmful to AEW. Says their booking has done nothing for the company. Much as it was over. And your thoughts? Oh, okay, here we go. Well, it's still by AEW, because thoughts on what QT Marcel said about the fan base, and if you don't know, I would tell you in the after party. I don't know what he said. Who should be the first ever woman speed champion? Okay, there we go. Whew. No more AEW. Woo. All right. Man, I don't care, man. I don't care about who's going to be the speed champion. I don't care. I saw one episode of Speed on Twitter, and that was when Ricochet won the title, because there was spoilers of him winning the title. And I think I saw one because I was like, man, maybe this time I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw it, and I saw another episode. I think it was Apollo Crews. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's see if Apollo Crews won. And of course, in typical WWE fashion, when it comes to Apollo Crews, he didn't. He didn't win. He did not win. He doesn't ever win, unfortunately. And the other Speed episodes that I saw was when I went to SmackDown in Cleveland the day before SummerSlam a few weeks ago, and they were doing speed tapings on that, and so I did coverage and put the spoilers on my Twitter of who won the speed matches, and that's the only speed experience that I have watching that show. As far as the women's are, I mean, it reeks of like an expose of B to C level talent as far as how they're booking them. So, although Montez Ford was on there, but at the same time, I mean, they're booking him to look like a B or C level talent nowadays. Yes, the Street Profits are going against the Bloodline for the tag team titles. But, ladies and gentlemen, do we really think that the Street Profits are going to beat the Bloodline for the tag team championships? Do we really think that? No, we don't. We don't think that that's going to happen. So, with that being said, I think that they'll probably book B and C level talent on the women's speed tournament as well. Although for some odd reason they showed Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill and Nia Jax on the promo. And Bailey. I remember seeing Bailey too. And I'm like, really? I mean, you about to do a speed tournament with Jade? You gonna put Bianca Belair in the tournament? You gonna put Jade Cargill in the tournament? What a horrible way to book them. Elvis is in the building. Do you think the Judgment Day will have a match at Survivor Series? And if so, who joins Remora? Remora. Don't know who Remora is. I think Rhea is what you meant to say. And Damien. Well, it won't be a mixed tag match. Will the Judgment Day have a match at Survivor Series? I guess. So you would have Dom, Finn. So if you do a mixed tag, you would only allow, like, if you did a mixed tag, you would only allow the woman to be in the match when the woman tags, but it wouldn't be War Games because everybody just beat each other up at War Games, and they definitely don't want that. So maybe you still do a multi-person tag match with Liv still in there, and Rhea just has to go in. So if you did that, you would do Finn, JD, Dom, Carlito, Liv, Damien, Rhea, and then 3 more male talent. I mean, who's there babyface wise that would be a part of? I mean, Sammy and Jay are still kind of like beefing with the Judgment Day a little bit, but you definitely don't want to put Sammy and Jay in this Judgment Day stuff. I mean, if anything, they would go in the Bloodline stuff, but it just goes to show how much it doesn't make sense. Predictions of the AFC South standings. I think Houston. I can see Houston winning again. Tennessee's most likely not going to be not going to be good. Indianapolis, no. And then Jacksonville is also in the AFC South. Jacksonville, I think that's. I think that Houston will win it again. I think that Houston will be number 1 in the AFC South again. I think that, man, Indy. My predictions are Houston, Indy, Jacksonville, Tennessee. That's my predictions. Unfortunately, yes, I did say the Tennessee Titans will probably be last in the AFC South. which is why I need a new team, y'all. Benjamin, all right, only missed a little bit. Yeah, man, glad you joined. Glad you joined. We're too old to have a TikTok account. Can't imagine learning anything from it. I heard that people I heard that people learn a lot. I mean, recipes and because I'm older than you are, I believe, and not by much, but I'm still older than you are, and I don't have a TikTok account, but I did hear some perks about it. I've considered having a TikTok account, but I just don't really want to be the guy. Neither do I have the time. The guy who just mindlessly scroll on TikTok. I do. I get a lot of my current news on Twitter, and so like I'll scroll a little bit on Twitter. I'm like, all right, I'm done with this, man. I'm good. I'll get some news and get some learn about some stuff and learn about current stuff, and then I'm like, all right, I'm done scrolling. I just don't have time to just be scrolling. But I heard that TikTok can easily get you to lose track of time with scrolling stuff because there's recipes, there's thoughts on certain, cases and stuff like that. So, it may be beneficial to someone. So, so let's see. R.I.P. Alpha. Acknowledge him. Poor Reigns. I know his family members dying. First brother, then his father, now his uncle. Yeah, it is difficult. I mean, that's tough. I mean, but hey, man. Live long lives, build legacies, WWE Hall of Famer, and like I said before with Sika, man, able to leave legends. I mean, Alpha's son was able to become a tag team champion. His nephew was able to become a tag team champion and WWE Hall of Famer. His other nephew became a multi-time world champion, and so yeah, man, you gotta give it up. The Wild Samoans and also the Anoa'i Fatu family has definitely became one of the most prolific families in all of pro wrestling history. So big shout out to the Anoa'i Fatu dynasty. Benjamin, I'm not a big AEW fan, but I hope they bounce back and grow more and more. Competition is good for WWE. I agree with that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I agree with that. I think that their booking model was just crap. There was a time that I would watch AEW every single week, man, because I was like, man, this is competition. This is different. This is alternative. But I can't make it in my week to watch AEW. I mean, I'll look at highlights when they're in my face. I like being on Facebook and stuff like that, but I'll get AEW highlights, because I'm a part of people invited me and put me a part of wrestling communities, and algorithms are you get based on you get posts based on algorithms. And so yeah, I'll see like AEW posts, and I'll see AEW posts on Twitter and stuff like that, and so I'll follow it. And I'll hear about stuff, and it makes me go back and look at the video of it. Just as a journalist and as a pro wrestling pundit, it's good for me to have my finger to the pulse of things, and so I don't know about stuff. But as far as just the start to finish episode, I'm just not interested. Would you like to interview Jesse the Body, former governor of Minnesota? Yeah, I would love to interview him. Absolutely. Benjamin, Elvis just said that. Benjamin says, I'm old enough to remember Apollo Crews winning a match. Sure. was long. Sure was a long time ago. Yes, I'm old enough to remember that too. It feels so long ago, and I'm old enough to remember that. But sadly, it's been so long ago. Do you think WWE jumped the ball on Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin? I think Shelton Benjamin would have a stronger argument than Bobby Lashley. As far as Bobby Lashley is concerned, no, they really didn't. I mean, as far as how he was booked, I mean, looks like he's on his way out. But as far as how he was booked, no. I mean, he he had a main event match. He was in a main event slot. I believe him and Drew opened, but it was still a WWE Championship match. You thought that he was going to be a transitional champion. He won at WrestleMania and beat Drew in 2021. Was that 2021? 22? You want to play 21? I got 22. Yeah, it was in Tampa. That was the rain out, right? Yeah, that's when they did limited seating for COVID, because 22 was Houston. Last year was what was last year? 39. What was last year's WrestleMania? Was it ew, I don't even remember. Tampa was 30. Oof, I know y'all know. What was, hold on, I don't even want to look. I know I'm pretty sure y'all got the answer, but I don't even want to look. 35 was, I was there. That was New York, New Jersey. 36 was COVID. 37 was, it was supposed to be in Bay Area, right? Like LA, or San Francisco or LA, I think. Yeah. So ended up being Tampa in 37, because it was supposed to be Tampa for 36. And so LA was 38. Oh goodness, I don't even remember. Houston was 38, because that was when Austin came. Dallas was 38, because that's when Austin was a part of it. I do remember that. Dallas was 38, because that's when Austin came. 37 was Tampa, right? Last year, I don't remember. That goes to show how much I care about that. I'm sure that I'll see it here as far as what was last year. So from what I recall, 37 was Tampa, 38 was Dallas, 39 I don't remember, and this year was, this year was Philly. Philly was this year. Last year I don't remember. My guess would be LA. We'll see. All right. People's Wrestling Channel, did they do interest for Speed Off TV or X, however you want to say it, when you were there live? Yeah, they did interests. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think so. Rollin, what's up, my man? Good interview, Dr. Chris. Did you see Hogan at the RNC a few weeks ago? I did see the promo that he cut. I saw a clip of the promo he cut. The last part of it. Rollins says, I thought it was a bit counterproductive to their goal of unity to let Hogan speak, considering that 30% of the country stopped rocking with Hogan back in 2015. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that's a good stat, I meant to say. That recording of Hogan, not only by saying the N-word, but by saying other disgusting things, including calling himself a racist, that recording will be accessible on the internet for eternity. That's true. That's true. And interesting that Essence said that she was doing some research and saw some things that would, make it make her stance or make the other question I asked about his recent comments at the wherever he was, kind of not as shocking. I will say that. Got to be very tiptoey when it comes to saying things about people because they're like Sue. I know the real answer, but shouldn't Judgment Day add Bronson Reed because this group needs a muscle? You don't. You want me to give? All right. It's just a question. No, absolutely not. You should always become a Packers or Raiders fan. Oh man, I would. All right, Elvis, I gotta give it to you, man. Gotta give you the boo. Gotta give you the boo, man. Aaron. That 49er offer is still on the table. San Fran's good, man. I can't give you a boo. Plus, I was a San Fran. My first team that I liked in football was San Fran because I grew up in a poor neighborhood, and my family would go thrifting, and I was thrifted a San Francisco 49ers jacket or coat. It was a coat. It was like a kind of a bomber jacket, and I would wear it in the winter time. And because I was given a 49ers jacket as a kid, I said, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm a 49ers fan then. And so I started following Joe Montana and Steve Young. And when Deion Sanders played for San Fran, and those were all fun times. And then then I was like, yeah, I'm not really into San Fran anymore. I mean, I was in high school, and all of a sudden I was like, well, I love Ohio State, that's for sure. And then Eddie George went to Tennessee, and I said, oh, I'm a Titans fan. So since 1996, I've been a Titans fan. Rollins says people believe that Montez Ford's suppression is due to either Triple H not like him or Montez Ford refusing to separate from Angelo Dawkins. Well, respect for refusing to separate from Angelo Dawkins. I can respect that. As far as Triple H not liking him, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I don't see why that would be the case as far as Triple H not liking him, but I will say this: Triple H's booking of black folk has not been very appealing as of late. So Shawn Michaels, on the other hand, is getting a little Kool-Aid, or he been to a couple grills or something, man. I can say that as a black guy. I mean, come on now, I can say that. But he seemed like he's been hanging out with some. He's been acculturating himself. I'll say that because, yeah, man, he's this is probably one of the blackest NXTs of its entire existence, man. I mean, you got Oma as the North American champion. You had Trick Williams as the NXT champion. You have Kalani Jordan, right? She's the NXT. She's the North American Women's Champion. So I mean, you had Wes Lee as North American champion. So you've got I don't really. I'm doing my best to try to stay hip with this NXT stuff. Javon Evans, right? Javon Evans. I saw him for the first time. I knew that he was an NXT guy. I didn't really follow his stuff. I know that he was. I saw on some tweet that he was in either the NXT title, it was a multi-person, or North American title multi-person. Maybe he was in the match where Ethan Page won. I knew that was a multi-person. I think I'm maybe right about this, but I did see him compete on Speed at in Cleveland. So it was a dark match, and he's got cool theme music and smaller guy, so maybe he need to put a little bit more girth on him. But I think his whole gimmick is about bouncing and stuff like that, and he's charismatic, man. I liked what I saw. Rollins said, I can imagine before not wanting his bro to fall completely off. I mean, that's what would happen if he would go solo. As an Angelo Dawkins finding himself in NXT while Montez has a flourishing singles career on Mondays and Fridays. Yeah, because here's the thing. Angelo Dawkins was trying to find himself in NXT for several years before teaming with Angelo Dawkins. He was in NXT for a long time. I remember when he was teaming up with oh gosh, what's old dude's name? He's not there anymore. He used to team up. He used to be the sidekick of Baron Corbin, wore suspenders. Now is married to Emma or Tenille Dashwood. Yep. Y'all know his name. For some reason, I'm thinking of an R. Yep. Yeah, something. Y'all know his name. Yeah, I'm sure y'all tell me. Rollins. But I can also see Triple H seeing Montez Ford as he saw Dwayne Johnson during the days of the Click. So I'm not sure what is going on with Montez Ford. I guess the jury's still out. We'll see. It is difficult because if he does have a breakaway career, that's probably going to be at the expense of daggone Angelo Dawkins, man. So sad. But people are making YouTube videos about Montez Ford's potential being wasted because it is. It is. There was in Hollywood. Okay, I was right. LA. Rollins, whatever WrestleMania that's WWE promoted Hollywood, LA actually took place in Inglewood. SoFi Stadium is located in Inglewood, California, but I know that LA and Hollywood sounds better. Yeah, they do that with bigger cities. Yeah. Rollins from California. Nice. Ben, 49ers are the team Jesus loves the most. You should pray about abandoning them. It's a concerning sign for your salvation. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Brought in some soteriology when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. Very interesting. Yes, Riddick Moss. What was his Madcap? That was his name, Madcap. I was trying to figure out. Yeah, so I was right about the R, Riddick. But yeah, I was like, what was his SmackDown name too? Madcap Moss. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna be heading over to the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/pancakes and power slams. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Essence Jenai. We're gonna be on there for a little bit and enjoy the Patreon with my peeps, man. So join us. It's less than $1 a week. It's $3.99 a month, y'all. Less than $1 a week. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is, right? Remember the bank head bounce back in the day? Bank head bounce. Do you remember the bank head bounce? Bank head bounce. Bank head bounce. Back in the day. Bang head. You relate into it too. You go back. You would be back in the, like you would be facing someone. And you would do one of these things and you would bang head bounce. You gotta love fats. You gotta love fats. You gotta love fats. You gotta love fats. Baby, I'll see you later. I'll see you